Welcome to Max's Garage Mahal, and we brought you here today to demonstrate this oil drain hose installation on a Kawasaki FR motor. I've got a Hustler Raptor SD60 sitting here in the shop, belongs to me personally, and we're going to get rid of that terrible drain valve they have that you have to slide a hose, something similar to this 1/2 inch ID, 5/8 OD hose over their drain valve in order to be able to direct the oil away from the body and the frame of the machine. So I will demonstrate this real quickly. All you're going to do is you're going to take off that valve after you drain your oil. Now you want to drain your oil and secure that somewhere where it doesn't get all over your shop. And it's a good idea to get rid of the oil filter off of it as well in order to be able to get down there and get your wrenches to it. So you're going to unscrew the drain valve, and then you're going to clean that up real well, and you're going to put a little oil on this O-ring. They recommend a grease. The oil that's coming out of the engine is just fine. And then you're going to screw this in just like this, and when it gets tight you do want to torque this. Now I'm not going to give you torque specs on this. I'm going to let you look this up from Kawasaki and go to their specs and find out what it is for your engine. This O-ring is not going to let you over torque it probably, but you could. And remember, you're putting brass into aluminum. Brass is stronger than aluminum, so don't kill your motor. Alright, and then when you get ready to drain this, you're going to, from that point on, you're just going to take this down from the top of your engine. Going to bring it down, you're going to point it toward the floor. You're going to grasp this end with one wrench and this end with another. You're going to unscrew this little sucker right here, and your oil is going to drain out just like that, out of that little hole right there. Okay, and inside this has an O-ring. Probably can't get it where you can see it, but maybe. There is an O-ring in there, so that when you put this back on. Now you can also add another O-ring right here between the thread and this body, and a thick O-ring, and I probably will do that because there's enough room to do that. But if whatever you do, put a little snug with both wrenches on there to keep that thing from vibrating off. And this, by the way, this one came with a little spacer which does not have a beveled edge in it, so I'm a little concerned why they sent that. But when I get in there, I'll be able to tell more about whether or not this has to go inside the engine or not. And if it does, we'll use it. If not, we're not going to, because that just looks like another place for a leak. We don't like leaks around here. Alright, the oil filter I'm going to use, this happens to be a Raptor brand for my Hustler Raptor. Haha. That name doesn't matter, it's just an oil filter. It's just the same oil filter that you put on a Chrysler Ford. It's just short, narrow. You can buy 25, 30 different sizes of these things, and that motor does not care at all. The bigger the filter, which when we do the oil cooler installation, then we'll be removing the oil filter again anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and use up. I've got 2 left of these, so I'm going to go ahead and use these up. But I'm going to put the longest, widest oil filter that I can get on this mower. And the reason is, the more filter, the more filtration you have. The wider the filter, or the longer the filter, or both, means more air around the filter, which means more air around the oil inside the filter, which is also helping cool your engine oil. So again, the filter is not that important as far as brand, style, because as you can see, Kawasaki has never made an oil filter, and these people, I bet you, haven't either. All they do is they contract them out, so many, and then these people just put their name on that case. This could be it could be anybody made that, actually. Alright, some of the tools. Well, you are going to need the drain hose if you've lost your hose that came with your mower. Okay, you're going to need some drain hose. That is 1/2 inch inside, 5/8 outside. You're going to need a 10 millimeter. You can use open end. I wouldn't use those. Use a boxed in 6-point. Don't use a 12-point, because 12-point, that's plastic and it's got screwdriver slots on 2 of the flats, which means you're actually only working on 4 of the flats, so you want to be careful of that. I like to use a line wrench because they fit real tightly, and you can put this over one of the open sides where your screwdriver slot goes, and it won't, since it's not pulling there. It is pulling on it, it doesn't have a place, but I like to use a line wrench. You can also use a 6-point socket with a ratchet. Really easily done, and I usually use this one myself. And you're going to need, by the way, in order to unscrew your valve, you're probably going to need to cut off the barb off the valve where the drain hose goes over. Now when you do that, you want to put something underneath that valve, like a shim or a piece of wood, thin wood, because when you cut down through there to cut that barb off, you're going to be scratching your paint, cutting your paint if you don't do that. Or you can loosen the nut and screw the nut back, and then clock that drain spigot off, and you can use one of these little line cutters that cuts copper and steel tubing. That's the tools you're going to need. Well, other than you're going to need some rubbery gloves. These are rubbery gloves that came from Harbor Freight. I prefer to use underneath the motor. Now this is a used piece of aluminum foil. This was made to make my breakfast this morning, and it's got some suspect looking stuff on there, some cheese right there from a cheese and ham omelet. I ain't sure exactly what that red stuff is. Maybe where the pig died and bled out, I'm not sure. I wasn't there when it happened, so I don't know. And then we're going to use, and somewhere back on some of the videos you saw where I'd gotten this self-contained drain pan, which the funnel screws on. You pull this cap off and screw that on, lay it down there, you just drain your oil right in that. So we're going to test and review this, and it'll be a separate video probably, but I will test and review that. And we're going to use Shell Rotella T 1540. I recommend this for anything and everything that requires engine oil. This stuff will do anything you need to do. It doesn't matter what it is, it'll do it. No matter what anybody else tells you. I was in the petroleum business for over 40 years. Guys, that stuff right there, put it in your engine. It will save a lot of engines. A lot of engines use little oil. That'll help them slow down just a little bit. Okay, now we're back, and right down here, as you can see, we have put the hose on. See if I can get you any closer without that thing blurring up too bad, because it's going to try to focus on everything in the world but that hose. So let me see if I can get a finger in there and see if it'll help me. And that light. Did you see the light? That light didn't know I was coming. But there it is, right down there. If I can get the light out of the way. Let's see. Y'all might be able to see that without that extra light. I don't know. What do you think about that? It didn't work either, did it? Alright, one more time for anyone that didn't see it. It's right down there. Okay, now then. Anyone familiar with these Raptor mowers? You probably did notice this black plastic wire loom that's on there. I've got that around the throttle and choke cable to keep it from scratching. Now, as you can see, the socket is on there and the ratchet, and it's in reverse remove, in other words. So all you got to do is open that valve, and let's see how many turns it takes to get that sucker open. Alright, let me turn this off and I'll open it, and I'll be right back. Okay, now we've got it loosened enough that we can, if I can clear that up anymore or not. Got it loose enough that we can get down here. We can turn this with our fingertips now. And look at there. What do you got coming out of there now? Some nasty looking stuff. Yeah, buddy. Oil's not bad. It's just contaminated with carbons and any extra fuels getting past the rings. So let's get that out of there. And let me see if I can get down there. Check that out, boys and girls. Right in that pan, just like we wanted it to. Alright. So at this rate, if we live long enough, we'll change that doggone valve. So there you go. Looks like that pan's going to work alright. We'll know after we get her full. There we are, guys. Looks like she's just about emptied herself out. So now there's still going to be some oil in the crankcase. When we pull that drain valve, she's going to be leaking some more. And it's still got a drop or two. We're going to deploy the aluminum foil and paper towels underneath that as we take it out to make sure we catch any extra oil. Now you can see down in there on the oil drain valve, I've removed the hose and I've taken the utility knife and I have cut off the tip of the oil drain spout on that valve. So you should be able to see it there along with that piece of wood I used to make sure I didn't cut on the paint. Okay guys, as you can see, the oil filter is off. We've captured all the oil, so there shouldn't be a whole lot on the frame when we get through. So that's just one of the ways I like to do it. And I also, if I've got this oil cap off for any reason, I like to make sure it's plugged with something that doesn't allow something to fall in it. And we're going to put this little oil filter on there as soon as we change out that valve, so we'll be back to show you the finale. Alrighty, there we are with the residual still draining out of the block. And as you can see, we've got it captured with aluminum foil and paper towel. And you do want to keep mopping up that excess and dropping it in your drain container so that you don't let it run over your overflow the aluminum foil. Alright, that gives you a little bit of an update there. And it's sort of hard to see down there with all that dark colored stuff, but there she is. Okay, here we are, guys. We have got it completed. I'm going to show you some things real quickly that we did use. We definitely did use the utility knife. And the reason why we used the utility knife, and I should have taken off a little bit more, but on this valve, I replaced or cut off sizable chunk of this barb, and it could have used this cut across straight, and then you could just unscrew it by fingers. However, I did have to incorporate the channel lock type plier here in order to be able to get it to come on out of there, and I had to unscrew it. It looks pretty rough now, that if you could see it better. Not sure if that's going to zero in or not, but anyway, so this is as Mr. Doug Creamer brought to my attention, this is a two-piece unit. You can clock this downspout or outspout. You can clock this thing wherever you want it, and then just tighten up this lock nut, and that will serve you to, if you want it to go straight down or at an angle like they come on a Kawasaki on a Hustler mower, then all you gotta do is just clock it the way you want it and then tighten that nut up. Now these have an O-ring in here, and this goes into the block. The O-ring goes into the block, and then this comes up against it wherever you clock it. Once it's tight and in as far as it'll embed, then you just tighten it up and it seals up. It does a good job. So we'll show you. Now this is the oil filter that I took out of the machine, and it is a Raptor part number L29. Maybe you can get a look inside it. And it's oil's in good shape. Didn't find any kind of impurities, metals, or any sort, so that's a good thing. We did end up using this funnel to fill it, of course. We're going to get this out of the way. And we used this 7-quart Garage Boss oil drain. This thing unscrews which we're not going to do now. We're going to go ahead and let that totally drain, then we'll wash this up. It goes right back in here. This also has a holder for the lid, which I like, the plug lid. And I think I'm going to really like this Garage Boss 7-quart oil drain container. It says it's transportable, leak-proof container for responsible recycling. Boy, that's us. The Max's Garage Mahal group. What do they call y'all? The Max's Garage Mahal mob. Anyway, we always want to make sure we take care of the environment. So we did use a 22 millimeter to break the, actually we used this to break the thumb nut loose. We used this to torque the hose into place. Again, we did use the 10 millimeter 6-point socket and ratchet. We also used, in order to unscrew this, or actually to break it loose originally, then I stuck a Phillips, short stubby Phillips in there to break it loose. Once it was broken loose, it actually breaks your lock nut back with it. Then you can start turning it pretty much by hand, unless that's too long, and then it won't allow you to go ahead and make the turn. So once you get it across the turn at the bottom, you'll probably need to use that stubby 2 or 3 times to bring her up where you can unscrew it. Okay, I did use some Harbor Freight. There you go, Harbor Freight, there's your plug. Some of these little lights I used. And Craftsman, here's your plug. Boys and girls, I'm going to tell you something. These things right here, I ain't going to point it at the camera. These things right here are fantastic. I use these things when I'm making my screen prints. And what I do is I put these things up above my head, a couple of them, turn them on, shine them up against this old ugly ceiling, and that way there's no UV light hitting the stencils as that material's hardening up for me. So let's see. And I call these rubbery gloves. They're sort of rubbery, but they're actually what they are is like latex. Boy, if you're sort of that sort of person, you're going to love you some latex. Probably in black though. Anyway, so we used the hose, we used this few tools right here is all you need to complete this job. You cannot use the line cutter, the tubing cutter. It will not fit on there at all. It will not work. So you cannot use that. I apologize. Now, well, again, we want to give Mass Depot a shout out. They came on board to help us with our world land speed record attempt with this old Hustler Raptor SD60 over here. And we hold that along with the help from Shane Smith and Lindsay May at Mass Depot, and we really do appreciate them. When you need lawnmower tires, or if you need trailer tires, motorcycle tires, ATV, side-by-side tires, go see these people. They got some tires that will take you up a rock. They got tires that take you through the mud. These people have got tires that just about take you anywhere you want to go. And they'll give you a discount. If you just put MGM in your discount code, you'll get an additional discount. And that varies during the year depending on holidays and such as that. So right now I think it's back to 8%. So go by and get your 8% discount. Take these lawnmowers and run them through some wet stuff where you couldn't go before. Get you some of these, let me just show you real quick. And I'm going to take this off and really mess everything up here. And here you go again. Y'all about getting used to this by now probably. And I'm going to have to turn off the monitor so I can see what you guys are seeing. But there's some of their tires right there. That little rascal is the berries for every day, all day long cutting right there. Y'all going to need you some of them. And I'm going to reuse over here real quick, and I'm going to show you the world land speed record holding tire. It's right there, and it's on the stock rim. That's a 24-inch tall tire. Now, let's see. Let me reach over here and grab one of them Craftsman lights real quick, and we'll show you the end product. There you go, boys and girls. She's on, and it comes up here. It's got a, now I just got through putting oil in it, so I need to tighten it up. I'm going to run the engine here in a minute, then check oil again. So she's ready to go. go just like that. So I appreciate you guys coming by, and I'm gonna get you over here, get you back on the tripod, let you look at my ugly face some more, and I apologize for that. But since none of you guys have volunteered to come be the on air, you stuck with me. So let me get my camera. Let me see what y'all are seeing here. Alright, well, I'm grinning a lot, aren't I? Okay. Well, yesterday, and I don't know when you're going to get to see this video. Yesterday, my 17-inch HP laptop. I want y'all to join me because I'm in mourning. I'm in mourning over my HP laptop. I just want to say a few words of grace over it. Lord, help that laptop, and I hope you get it somewhere where it's going to be appreciated in the landfill somewhere. Because my laptop quit working. I mean, it broke. So I'm going to have to sell a whole bunch of these caps. I need to sell a whole bunch of these clocks. And I need to sell a whole bunch of the grass flaps, the scallop block off plates. Anything I got y'all need, y'all let me know. And I've already had somebody ask me if I'd sell my lawnmower. I don't know what I'd do for a lawnmower then, but guys, we do appreciate you. Hope you can help us out and buy a few caps. Those things are going to be $24.95. They are embroidered, and it stands out real nice. Got them in tan and navy. So if you can help me out, that'd be wonderful. I ain't going to beg, but I can still use the help. So thank you for coming by Max's Garage Mahal. We'll do some more videos in the future. We'll try to get them out there with some sort of computer to put them on, and get them up where you can see some more information on how to maintain your Hustler and some other test reviews. And we appreciate it once again. Y'all come back and see me now here at Max's Garage Mahal. Y'all come back and see me now, yeah?